could be Chef Lawrence with dinner tips.
Shit.
And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those
guys.
God.
What's up?
So how you guys doing? And we
I'm
are
okay.
live.
I'm okay, I guess. I just freaking walked in the door, as you can tell.
So how you guys doing this evening?
I'm good. Hold on, my daughter wants my attention. What?
Your daughter wants your attention.
What? Talk.
So how you doing, Paul?
Well, it just started raining cats and dogs here.
So?
See, there
Your
goes a
mother's coming
cat,
home.
there goes a dog.
All right,
That's
all
good,
right.
man. Yeah, I see that rain, Paul, but
Yeah.
how was it out there today, Lawrence? Blind Neil.
It was actually just very, very humid out in the streets.
Hickman? What's good,
But-
man?
No, it's good. The weather was fine. It's just hard for me to breathe with the humidity, but other than that, it was
JSK,
okay.
First guy here.
What's up, JSK?
Yeah, he was the first guy here.
Tim Jackson, how you doing, Tim?
But,
Tim Jackson, how are you, sir?
you know
On your
me,
way to work?
I haven't been able. Hey, Lane, how you doing? I haven't been able. Coast to coast, Bill, what's good? I haven't been able to
Hey.
get out because my situation. I got
The wheelie?
well, that wheelie thing there. I can tell you. I don't know. I don't like it. It gets stuck in the cracks in the sidewalk if you're not moving properly with it.
So that's my
Same
life
thing.
story.
And the same thing with the, with the, you see how my kitchen floor is with those
With the grout, yeah.
It gets caught in there sometimes, and you could lose your balance on it if you're trying to stand still to do something. Well,
Yeah.
the other day, coming inside, going up over the thing, the wheel rolled back, and I did the.
Not good. Because you do not want to bang that foot or hurt it.
I did the tuck and roll, and then you kick the foot out at the top. You
Oh,
remember
okay.
back in the day how when you finish that move when you spin on your back and you kick the leg out?
I guess. I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess.
But,
All right.
yeah.
I'm gonna listen.
No,
I'm going to listen to you guys, but I'm going to go dark for about
okay.
for a
No
minute.
shots. No real
Do.
drum news this week, Paul. Nothing on the serious note.
Yeah,
Nothing
there's
that
it's been kind of everything has just been.
There is drone news.
Oh no, there is.
No. I'm going to make it drone news. In fact, I need to call our boy Billy Kyle and ask him what the hell was up with that damn video about the P4P.
Oh, well, that was his opinion.
That was his opinion. I don't value his opinion
Well,
after saying what he said about the Phantom 4 Pro. That's
the
right,
only
Billy.
thing-
I'm going to give you a call in Philly about that video, man. That was not cool.
The only thing that can be said against the drone in itself is the fact that you do need a larger backpack to carry this thing.
I think that's
All
the only
other
thing
things
about it,
Right. Other than that, guys carried it around when there was nothing else.
Yeah. See, when I used to be able to go take the golf cart down by the river and stuff, I just put the back seat down in the golf cart, and I could load all my equipment up right there, the Inspire, everything right there, and just go fly. It wasn't any big deal. But I could see where, like, you guys are lugging equipment through the park and everything, and it
I
could
look
get,
official. I
Yeah.
look official. I'm on my way to do a real job. And when I pull out my drone, it's not going to be some fold and play.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand where the future of the industry is going. I just understand how certain things work and how certain things actually work better. And there's a lot of tricks that are played with a lot of things nowadays. And
You mean like in the construction of the point and shoot Mavic Air 2?
well, and cameras, period. You know, there's a lot of things, even with your regular mirrorless cameras and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of guys overlook certain mirrorless cameras like the Panasonics
Yep.
because of their autofocus is not as good as Sony. But when you start getting into the color science and what these cameras are actually doing,
Well, and every other month, their competition's coming out with a newer, better, new.
right? You
Well,
know,
you got to think about this. Every
but a
6
lot of
months.
things, but a lot of things are being done differently. And when you start looking at certain things that we've created throughout the years and become different, like there's a lot of stuff that photographers doing and look at some of these, you know, smaller frame sensors, and they're looking at, you know, how the blur in the background is not as clean as it is with a full frame sensor. There's a lot of things out there that's going on with these cameras, and a lot of things that are being done to give you a good look, and they do great. I mean, things change, you know, and but there's always that one thing that is still reliable. You know, when I was in school, it was 35 millimeter. There was no such thing as digital
Yeah.
photography.
Yep.
Yep.
And you had to develop your own
Well, there was no such thing
pictures,
as,
or you had to pay someone to do it.
and guys shot with 35 millimeter cameras, right?
Yep.
But but when you start getting into doing portraits and stuff like that and different things, the 2.25 box cameras and the 4x4s did better pictures, and those were older cameras.
Yep.
Why?
Oh shit.
Because the
Oh, I'm
bigger the
sorry.
eye, the better to see. You know, it was always just that way.
Yeah, I remember, you know, way back when there was the big square box Hasselblad camera where the shield popped up and you looked down through it.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
that had that has a negative that gave you, you know, 4x4. So you're looking at a better print. When you made a print with that, you get a better print. And the same thing still holds true with even with digital photography. It's amazing.
Well,
Of course, I'm old enough to remember back. You guys may not remember this, but when Instamatic came out and they had those film cartridges, you didn't have to roll it up on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put it in. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. For consumers.
That was modern technology then.
Yeah, everybody goes, ooh, you got to have an Instamatic. You don't have to worry about putting the film in and then taking advancing it and rolling it up, then close it and roll it some more, you know?
You know, and I said this to you once before, Lawrence, when, you know, I just looked at, like you said, going back to Billy's video, the only, you know, one thing I got from that video was the fact that I know that it took, DJI went into developing that camera about, what, 3 years in the making of that Phantom 4 Pro camera.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say to you is, I can't wait to see when they replace it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would be interested to see what they replace it with. Because
if that camera, to cut you off, but that camera that was in the Matrice,
yeah,
you know, same big 1-inch sensor, mechanical shutter.
Well, here's something you want to think about. Technology, because we're transitioning from 4K to 6K and all of that, and from 1080p to true 4K, the bandwidth that you need to record and or process videos now is a lot higher. Now, I'll give you the perfect example. When you usually process a video, it's usually at 41,000. What's the terminology? Damn, I'm having a senior moment. But anyway, the point I'm getting to is now the files are a lot bigger. Files are bigger. They're 4K. At 6K, if you try to download a 6K video, it's going to take you a while to download it. But what's up, man?
That's on your machine.
But the problem is,
That's on your machine.
Oh, well, gee,
Here we
gee,
go.
thanks. See, here we go. I'm going dark for a minute. I'm listening.
Adly wanted to know what are you doing?
He's got. It looks like he's got to go to the store again.
No, I'm not. I'm just outside.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
He's burning off a little bit of anxiety.
Exactly. Exactly. Because to go back inside, I have to go back in. I just found out my wife is working late. I don't care about that. And my daughter's going to have something she doesn't usually have, like most of us, leftovers.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
Listen, she hungry, she'll eat that shit.
Sound like he gonna catch a beat down.
I ain't cooking. I'm not cooking.
Well, how old's your daughter? Maybe she should start cooking.
16.
Well, there you go. Hey, Lawrence, when you run through the sprinklers like that, we can hear it.
You hear kids yelling at sprinklers in the back?
Yeah.
Is that the wind, or are you catching?
That's the wind, dude. I mean, I just came out of nowhere. It's the fucking freaking wind.
I thought he was running through the sprinklers to cool down a little bit.
Oh no, man. What's up, man? How are you? All right, man.
I thought they heard you talking about having to eat leftovers, and then you got pummeled. That's what all of that started happening.
Hey, Lawrence, Hadley said baud rate. Is that what you're talking about?
He's muted now. But yeah, don't forget next week Monday, Paul, is the
Yes, it is the baud rate I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, don't forget next week Monday is the 14th annual Electronic Aircraft Symposium.
Oh.
That's where you get to see all of the new designs and where guys are trying to go with some of this technology.
Herman, that's online?
That's all going to be virtual, yeah. Yeah, they call it virtual. It's all going to be online.
How much are they charging?
I never got a price on it. Wow. The crunch of those potato chips you got going on over there is killing us, man.
It actually sounds like he's wrestling dinner.
Believe it or not, that's just the wind blowing past my mic.
Like
wow.
With a paper bag.
I'm on my way back to the house. Don't worry.
But yeah, then Lance.
I just had to deliver a package.
Okay. There was a thing on Lance, Paul. Yeah, 320,000 Lance approvals in 2020. Ain't that something?
Wow.
Most of them were in the last 6 months.
Lance approvals. Now, is this for the hobbyist or professional or in general?
I didn't get all of that information. I just got a general number.
So it's probably just a grand total.
Yeah, but what it is interesting is that guys are continuing to fly safe in the community.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? I saw some shit here in New York while I was at work. Somebody went live, and I'm not going to say who
I know
or where it was.
I saw it too.
Okay. All right. I'm real tight about that.
I saw
because it reflects on everybody.
I saw it too. You know,
Paul, if you only knew.
Paul, I saw it too.
Okay, all right.
It's not a good look, but you know, hey, it's not me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not anyone here in the chat, you know, it's not here, you know, checking out the stream. So as long as it's not us, I'm good. You know.
But they are in that other group.
Yeah, I'm not.
That other large group in New York City.
The 5B?
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that. You know, there was an article that I saw, and this one was interesting because I noticed that a lot of the drone news that's been popping up in the last month, well, I shouldn't say months, you know, you know, well, all this year, everything this year so far that's been coming up has been everything that's kind of like this to see how far this has come. This article, I think, was from 2015 on the 7 reasons why drone delivery service won't work yet.
Notice key word yet. And that was in 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. Now, the 7th reason that they have here is that they believe it was because this was all based upon, you know, Amazon's what was that Prime Air?
The Prime Air.
Yeah, because it was, I think, when everybody was talking about going away from the Black Friday sales, and they thought it was it was all just for marketing.
Yeah.
And it never, you know, that whole thing with Amazon and the drone delivery never took off.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically what that whole article was basically looking at what Amazon was doing with this drone that they had. I had sent you that article on it, and
yeah, I had actually had time to read it while I was at work
that was
today, and I saw a little bit of it yesterday.
7th reason as to why. Now, it's funny because now the number 6 reason that they had on here, regulations won't allow it. Now, you know, under Part 107, you cannot fly beyond the line of sight. But
right.
but we've all seen now
in the United States.
Right, but this is what we're talking. But now we've all know now that UPS and Zipline and them have all gotten approval under Part 135 to be able to fly beyond the line of sight for delivery. So we've seen the change. We've seen the change within that 5-year period with that.
Right. That's true. That's true. And we also know that Zipline is here in the United States to teach us how to do it right.
Well, there's a lot of companies involved in trying to teach us how to do it right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
the other question I have is, has anybody that's a 107 pilot attempted to register under 135?
I don't know anyone personally.
I believe that you would have to have a business and a qualified aircraft before approaching them with that.
Okay.
Yeah, but what, you know, that's what I'm saying. What are the rules? What are the regs? I mean, you know, as far as I know, all of those companies are still testing with multiple different drones, and I have never seen the FAA say, yes, this one's good. No, that one's not. Yes, this one's good.
Well, once they got the approval under those parts, they are worthy under that category.
Yeah, but what my point is, Herman, have you ever seen a list of what drones that 135 has approved?
What they will approve, what they will approve?
Yeah.
No, just based upon what I've seen, I know that those are what they will approve. You know, and based on what they were talking at the symposium last year, most of the things that they were most interested in was seeing a void and still having to have a man at the helm in case of an emergency in this
takeover
flight. Right. So that was one of their main things, because seeing the void had still not yet been approved, had not been, you know, advanced enough for the onboard cameras on drones to.
And I think 135, not only, you know, anybody can go start a company and get it registered and all that, but I think you have to have deep pockets. But I
pretty
think
much, Paul.
That's possible.
But there are people that fly that you and I both know have very deep pockets. And why haven't they said, well, I'm going to get a 135 license? Well,
the other day we mentioned this company. I had never heard of them before in my life. Deuce Drones. Where'd they come from? I mean, they might have been around for a while.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very
they
true.
might have been around for a while. Look, we mentioned another company that does surveillance with drones. Right here in the Navy Yard in Brooklyn. Never knew it was there.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we live here and didn't know. Yeah, that's true.
They did surveillance for the Super Bowl. So I mean, there's these companies are all over the place and coming up with all
Herman,
kind of things. But I mean, that was surveillance. That's not delivery. But like I said, Deuce drones. I never heard of them, but they got apparently they have a aircraft that has been deemed as airworthy by the FAA because they have a contract to produce a whole demonstration for Buffalo Wild Wing for a packaging system and delivery charging system.
let me in, Herman.
Nuts. What happened? What do you need?
He wants to share, I think.
No, let me in. I'm coming in on the PC.
Oh, he's coming in on the regular computer.
But something's wrong because my camera didn't start up the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, you're
You
black.
got the gray screen.
The gray screen.
Yeah, I know.
Did you turn the camera on the bottom
There
left?
it is. There it is.
There you go.
All right. Now I'm comfortable.
So yeah, like I was saying, what that company, they came out of nowhere. Like I said, I never heard of them, but somebody's probably heard of them. I don't know everything. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know.
But I just thought, with the large community, the number of drone pilots and different guys that are 107 pilots out there, I've never heard one of them mention anything about applying or what they have to do to become a 135.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong now, but at one time I was under the impression that the 135 had to be applied for by the business, which allowed you the ability to fly beyond the line of sight and all of that.
Yeah, because even making courier service.
Well, I mean, $100 we can start the H&L, Herman and Lawrence aerial adventures, and you could be a business.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we have an aircraft that the FAA says is
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm sorry
for what we want to do with our business?
Yeah.
Other than fly and take pictures.
And I'm sure that, but you guys are ahead of the game. You guys could come up with real quick with a business plan and what you plan to do or what you don't plan to do, and probably put your hat out to the community. Everybody kick in a few bucks so you could buy a big ass commercial copter. And,
in my neighborhood.
Okay.
In my neighborhood? Okay.
But I mean, it's like what I'm amazed at, because we have a whole bunch of people on YouTube that want to be the biggest, the baddest, the best, and the first. Right. And I just haven't seen anybody want to be the biggest, baddest, and first with the 135.
Well,
yeah.
Hey.
But they're all flying businesses doing real estate, all this other kind of stuff and whatever.
They don't need it.
Yeah,
they don't need it because they're not doing drone delivery.
But see, I'm always a believer. The reason I got a 107, I'm not doing it commercially. I can if I want to, but I'm not. Is because I'm a firm believer. If there's a license to be had, I'll get it.
Right. Well, you see, what I think is happening with on the Part 135 is that say like like UPS, for instance, with this whole Matternet system. Matternet is the aircraft that the airline company that has been approved by the FAA. You understand?
Gotta charge my
what UPS wants to do. So UPS has bought their system to use for their operation. Now, for somebody to fly it, to be at the helm, they need a guy like you with 107 to fly it under their Part 135.
Right. Hey, Geek Savannah's here.
What's up, Sean? So yeah, the fifth reason that they had was technology isn't quite there yet. And that was based, like I said, based upon that aircraft that Amazon had that was 55 pounds and could only carry something about the size of a large shoebox. Now, we've also seen change in that area in the last 5 years too. You know, because you guys saw that drone, was it Canada delivery?
Yep.
Has that drone there that has the big, it looks sort of like a little helicopter that opens up on the side. Yeah, we've seen change in that. So there's a lot of things have come since that in that 5 year span.
But like a young fellow that has a lot of drive and a lot of inside knowledge and is good with making things, I don't understand why they don't go out. Let's take, for instance, Hadley. Hadley's building drones all day long.
Right.
Why doesn't he build a big commercial ass drone and market it and get it registered? A hexacopter, octocopter, whatever, and with motors as big as your fist and 24-inch props and be able to take a payload and because he's perfectly located in Arizona to be able
Paul,
to fly.
the answer to that is Recovery One drone put. The tech is there, just not cost efficient. It was the same thing with solar. Remember, they were putting solar panels on people's houses, and the problem was they didn't have the battery technology affordable enough. Now they have the battery technology, and now all these companies are popping up all over.
Well, that's what I was telling you when I first saw, so when how I told you how the quick Tesla rushed that car to market, because they had a big issue with that car years ago on being able to have a battery that can run that car efficiently, that was cost effective and small enough not to weigh the damn car down.
Right.
So that happens with a lot of things, and we also talk about how as time goes on, the technology trickles down to, like, look at how we have now. What's the Mavic Air 2?
Yeah, it trickles down to
what it's doing.
It trickles down to the poor man.
In a streamlined version of what it can do, or of what the technology that's out there for that.
Well, like in my mind, if somebody that's an accomplished drone person gets together with an accomplished drone person that's an engineer,
with deep pockets,
gets together with somebody that is a design engineer and somebody else that knows the tech side and everything else, and they all get together, let's say a 5-man team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they just couldn't design and manufacture.
Yeah, you're right, Paul, but it takes a lot of time and research. Like I said, we're looking at where this was at that time. You're talking about 55-pound drone and being able to carry something only the size of a shoebox.
Yeah.
Now, we still have drones that fit into that category, but they work for what they're using them for. Now, we've seen the change in that, but those things take time, because you're talking about a couple of guys who are doing YouTube. The hardest struggle is for most guys, the YouTubers, that the guys that I know of. I mean, I'm not speaking for anybody else, but being able to pay your bills and still do this and have some fun, and hope that one day that if whatever you're doing, can throw you some change to make things a little easier, so be it. If that's the case, but
well, my thought is that if history teaches us anything, that anything is possible. Let's take a look at somebody like Henry Ford. Mm-hmm. When he brought out the Ford Model T, he was a nobody. Everybody laughed at him, and he was, because it took him months to build a car for the very rich. He says, I can build it in hours,
right,
and at an affordable price, and they all laughed at him.
Right, and you know what? And his claim to fame is the assembly line. And you know what happened with building cars on the assembly line with Ford? they got known as fix and repair daily.
Yeah. But I think all the other cars were pretty much the same too back then because technology changes. But what I'm just saying is that
No.
if you leave it to the very rich and
Mhm.
the people at the higher end and you don't push up towards them from the bottom, they'll always tell you what you can have and what you can't have.
You're right, Paul, but you know what? A lot of things do start at the bottom. And the one thing that a lot of people never look at is that a lot of those things that start, what happened?
No, go ahead. I
A
just
lot of those
finished.
things that start at the bottom. Like we were all here with that controller. What's his name? Mr. Parazynski.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Scott Parazynski.
and
Scott Parazynski.
and had that thing taken off, being is that he's a small guy coming up from the bottom. The only way that thing goes anywhere is for somebody with the big pockets to buy it and push it. And that happens with everything that starts at the bottom and goes into the big guy.
And the other thing, what we don't know is,
Mhm.
since he kind of just like disappeared, did one of the bigger companies buy up his technology and pay him off?
Well, I don't know.
You want to know what?
What's going
He
on
said
there.
himself that's what he was hoping for.
Yep. He wanted to be bought.
But not to diverse from the subject, but getting back to that list that you had, Herman, if you compare that list that they had 5 years ago, 7 reasons why drone deliveries wouldn't be possible, some of that stuff is possible now.
Well, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, that's why I'm up to 4.
Hello, Metro Drones.
You know,
Logan.
and they talked about what happened.
I was saying what's up to Logan and Broke Necks.
What's up, guys? Hey, Metro, what's good, man?
We get on a roll and we start ignoring the chat.
Yeah, I know.
You got to pause and say hi.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep up with you.
And Paul, don't forget you the official timekeeper on the.
Oh, again? Okay. Well, it's 5:30.
Oh, it's 5:30. You're doing it on the half hour?
Well, that's what you told me to do before. We can do it on the hour if that's.
I do the half hour. Doesn't matter to me. Okay. You good, Paul? Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm just glad to be sitting down. I'm standing all damn day.
Well, Wednesday night with those guys are sponsored by
those
guys.
Hey, Lynn. I'm actually having one of those right now, Lynn. That's what I'm. That's why I keep going off cam. I just.
So yeah, like I was saying there. The number 4 reason, distance doesn't make sense. Now, Amazon was talking about this program, right, with their drone for delivery for 30 minutes or less. Now, that would give them only about a 10-mile range. Correct. And once again, we've seen drones within the last 5 years that have been able to have tests done that move faster than that and can cover more ground than that on delivery. And they were developing this for delivery. So these things, like I said, we've seen the change, and we're seeing that change. You know, Amazon wanted to have 30 minutes or less delivery. That means that for you to be able to get that delivery, you had to live within 10 miles of wherever it was being delivered from.
Yes. And you had to have a crack staff too to be able to pull it, pack it, load it in 30 minutes and have it at the doorstep.
Wait a minute. Oh, this way.
Can you imagine a big company like Amazon? I can't imagine the thousands and thousands of orders every minute.
Wait a minute. Here we go.
Straight Adly's famous. There you go.
I'm advertising here for Adly.
All right.
Yeah.
He cut me a check.
The thousands.
He cut me a check, and now I'm advertising for him. His shirt, straight out of Lipos. If you fly, you know what it means. And then the feast.
Hold on a second. So why don't you walk across the floor and
turn on the back?
Huh?
What happened?
Why you don't walk across the floor and then turn around and then show the shoulders?
Listen, I'm not putting on. Yes, it does fit, dude. I'm not putting on no Vogue music.
There you go.
I'm not pacing up and down.
Well,
the damn
Herman's got it queued up. He's ready. He's just waiting for you to get up and do it. He'll turn the music on.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, and you get your name on the back too. So
Okay, good look.
$99.95. Send the money to Herman.
What is
Adly.
it? Novice Queens?
Hit them up. Hadley's Famous FPV. Just hashtag it. You'll find them.
All right.
Malik on the beat says, I fly micro quadcopters and I'm satisfied with its range. I get about 1 to 200 meters with the Hubsan X4. Okay. All right. Well, see, I started out like that too. With, you remember, Herman, all the horror I went through with those little micro 3 inches in it. And remember, I opened up one when you got here and it didn't even fucking work out the box. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I can tell by Herman's smile, he remembers it fondly.
Uh-huh. Yes, he does. He does. It was an adventure.
You know how
And Lawrence keeps, hey, Herman, Lawrence keeps flashing us for some reason. I don't know if he's on a runway deal or what.
No, I'm here.
You just went out again, then back in again, then out again.
Now, here's one that'll interest you, Lawrence. Landing is they said the landing is impossible. Now that's a problem.
In a city.
They said landing is a problem. Why? Both in areas with trees and in cities. Why? Because drones don't work well with tall buildings and they don't work well with trees.
Yeah, well,
Landing, but you see here, once again, we're talking about zip line, and we're talking about
UPS and everybody else.
UPS and these guys that have systems that are out that are doing this. You got to get off the porch if you want to run with the big boys. And they have developed systems where you've seen how the zip line delivers.
Yeah.
Now,
And Zipline is accurate. Zipline could actually drop a box on a rooftop because the targeting system is that accurate.
But see, here's the funny thing about that, Lawrence. When we're talking about that line that drops down, that company, what was it, Flirty, has the patent on that for the hardware and the software for that system with that drop line that drops packages down.
Wow.
Now, this is all taking place within that last 5 years of them talking about landing as a problem.
Well, and also now you have to remember, the last 5 or 6 years, obstacle avoidance has made leaps and bounds. Yeah. Because 5 years ago, we did have obstacle avoidance 5 years ago. Okay, it just wasn't too precise or accurate. It may see a building, but not a car or a truck or a street lamp. Now it sees street lamps.
It did in the last few years.
1/4-inch wiring. Yeah.
With the updates that have been coming out.
Well, here's the question I would have. Here's the question I would have. If you're going to be flying in a congested area, wouldn't you have to do 3D mapping summer and winter so that they get an idea, okay, this location has trees. The trees are so tall. When they get foliage, they're so big. And in the wintertime, the trees are still that tall, but the foliage isn't that big. And
well, all of that is great, and you're right about that. And it brings me right to the next part of this thing here. You know, on the number 2 reason as to why it wouldn't work. And this is the biggest thing of them all to me, because they felt that, you know, and it is true, and it was true. It will no longer be true by next year, but air traffic control does not exist in low altitude. So there was no air traffic control for drones to be safe moving along autonomously through the air. So now we all know that now with the FAA introducing remote ID, because they want to have UTMs, you know, these are the changes.
Sounds like someone's rolling the dice and they're hitting
right
every
like,
time.
like they know exactly where this was going from 5 years ago,
Yep.
you know,
Stall
and
the public. Don't tell them.
it's just slowly, surely, slowly moving along, creeping along. It's like taking, basically what it is that they let Bang Good roll it out.
Hey, Daryl.
You know what I'm saying, Lawrence? They let Bang You Good roll it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it came along nice and slow. So what we know now that those things don't exist, because come December, everybody's gonna, in the United States is gonna be doing remote ID. Either you're gonna get down or you're gonna lay down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And they've already changed the way you register your drone now. You
Did
know, what I mean by they've changed the way you register your drone, they make sure you do what you're supposed to, and you make sure you display. They didn't tell you these things. You have to display your ID card clearly where someone can see it. They've revised and added these little nooks and crannies.
Well, the ID number was always, when I first started flying, was you had to display it, and then they changed it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And now it's back to where you have to display it. It's
Yes.
obvious.
Yes.
But as a 107, you have to have your credentials either in your pocket or somewhere where they can see it, either on your phone, somewhere where they can see it when they walk up on you. But you got to have your credentials.
Yeah, Recovery One says problem with that is in an urban environment, you may need to fly above 400 AGL, which puts you in regular airspace. Well, this is true. Well, you do have that buffer between 400 and 600 feet.
Well, you will be, depending on where you are, you will be in
yeah, but delivery drones would also be put into this category.
But this is why, like what Paul was talking about the 3D mapping and these things of sort. These things had to be done. It had to be done because they're getting ready to roll out these UTMs and along with this remote ID. Now you'll see the remote ID come out first, but then as things progress, you'll start to see where there's certain streets you can't cross.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because it's like that now. When we were at Interference Park, we used to be able to fly from the airfield across the water, across the highway, into the rest of Flushing Meadows Corona Park. And they eventually stopped you from getting to the major attractions. They put up a wall around the attractions, and they expanded that wall to the edge of the grass just on the other side of the highway. Now they've expanded it to the side of the airfield. You can't even go in that direction anymore.
You gotta do the unlock. It'll make it.
Listen, the views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight. Notice I said panel. Well, all I can say is now the way things are going, you'd be lucky if you can get off the damn ground.
Why?
But I did find out something, and I did know, I don't know if people know this, but even though I fly a camera drone, and I'm licensed to work with camera drones, I was told by a New York City Department of Parks employee, he says, even if you're flying your racing drone and you're not working, if you're flying, you must have a registration. Now I said, well, my Phantom 4 is registered and my Mavic Pro is registered because I use that professionally. He said, they don't care about that. They want to know if you're a registered pilot anyway. He said, you could be flying a paper plane, but you have to carry your ID on you when you're flying now.
To fly paper planes?
Look, he said, I don't care if you're flying a paper plane.
No, but I got what you're saying. I mean, but I thought that was always the case for flying.
Well, when we go out, well, we know we do that. We were doing it before all of this stuff. We were doing it. We were carrying our registration.
Cone set up with the lights, though.
Huh?
I do want that cone set up with the lights, man.
Oh.
Oh, they got this cone set up, right? With the lights on the top of the
Oh
cone.
yeah, yeah.
Flash.
We got to show you a picture one day.
Oh,
There are pilots in here in New York that
Have you got
pull
a
out
picture,
four-
Lauren?
they pull out the
Lauren?
4 little kiddie soccer cones that are about this big,
Yeah.
and they set them up. The construction things that fit over them so that you can't walk past. They
Yeah.
set them up in like a 4 foot by 4 foot square, and they have the vest on and the construction hat, looking like Bob the Builder, and they just fly like that.
well, no, Paul. On Amazon, right? They got a nice setup, right?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With 4 cones. They're not the little itty bitty ones. They're kind of tall, and they have the piece at the top with the light on it that flashes.
Strobe lights on top?
Yeah, so you can see when you're coming back.
Look like a landing lights, huh?
Yeah, so you can see when you're coming back.
Well, the next thing they'll do, somebody will have approach lights. They'll get these long rods that they can extend out. They got flashing lights on them, strobes, and they'll go.
You wave when you win.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. You go to return home, and on your screen you see, like on the aircraft carriers, lower,
Yep.
steady, lower, you're clear.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm trying to find.
The number one thing on that list was people don't like drones. Now, that
unfortunately,
what's funny about that statement? It's one of those statements that are true at a time, because and I found this to be true here from flying in different places. Drones are cool when you're flying them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drones are cool when you're flying them. Drones are cool when you're interested in what.
There you go, Paul.
When you see it on different things and you're interested and you happen to come up on a guy who's doing it and you want to know what's going on, and he lets you see it and everything like that. And
so hold on, let's
recover. Drones are also cool when it's needed for search and rescue.
Yeah, but
stuff like that.
The Recovery One drone says in the 1900s, people didn't like cars; they were scared of them.
Nope.
Right, that's what I'm saying to you. But drones are not cool when you're nosy and you're not part of it, and you need to know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's up to something.
And he's looking in my window from 3 miles over on the other side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to walk 5 houses down to what's going on. Why is he looking in my house?
Yeah. I know the deal already.
No, I'm just saying that's the thing of it. Drones are cool in certain situations, but when it's not cool, it's really not cool.
It's drone shots. It's true. No state has the right to charge a fee for a license, but they do. And
do it all the time.
Not the state. It's not really the state. It should be the local municipality, because usually when you charge for fees for licenses, and like in Long Island here in New York, in order to have an alarm system in your house, you need to get a permit from the police department.
Yep.
To have an alarm system in your house. Now, it's like that in a few other places around the state, but the money that they make from that goes into that local city. Hey, what's up, Corey? It goes into that local town or that local municipality.
Drone shots.
Not yet, but it's coming.
Like I said, drones are cool when it's necessary for you, but when it's not, then it's just not cool anymore when it comes.
Right, exactly. And
that's almost anything.
Now, if Timmy's been missing for 24 hours and it's a wooded area, who's the first person they call? Someone with a drone. You got a drone? See if you can go up and see.
Right.
It happens all the time. In fact, usually a police officer will say, "Hey, I got a drone in the car."
Right, but that's when they're cool.
right, that I fly recreationally or whatever.
So
Not talking about individual states, but I see the FAA coming up with the basic test. Private man pilots have a license, and it's different from a commercial pilot. Well, this is true, Recovery One Drone. They are getting, the FAA is going to get to the point where in order to fly a drone, whether it's as a hobbyist or commercially, you need to take a test.
well, I believe
And aren't they coming up with something like that? Don't they have that in Europe or in Europe?
Yeah, I mean, so did Canada, but like I said, I believe that is coming. We don't know when, but you know, like I said, everything is being trickled down and trickled out by the FAA. Like I said, this is a 5-year-old article, and look at the changes that have come.
Of everything that's in that article, you're 100% right.
And where things have come, and it seems like they knew from back then that these these things were going to happen slowly but surely.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what I had on drone news, and
well, it'll be interesting, and I'm going to keep repeating it randomly, but starting December 30th, 2020, listen closely if you're not paying attention, December 30th, 2020, RFID testing will start.
Remote ID is going to
remote ID. I keep saying RFID. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. I guess because they wanted to put that RFID chip in people, and this is kind of what it feels like. You know, but remote
you can still
ID.
get it.
No, that's all right. I've already seen them. They put it in dogs. No, thank you.
You can still get it.
No, that's all right. That's okay. That's okay. I already saw one guy. He's like semi-millionaire. He has these chips inserted in his hand. He unlocks his door. He starts his car with his hand. He opens the door to his car with his hand. No, thank you. No, thank you. And he controls other things with these chips.
That's kind of freaky deaky.
It is, but he keeps wanting to put technology in, and what the problem is, he cannot find doctors here in the United States to perform the operation. So he moved to Europe, where they'll do anything. They'll put anything in you for $1.
You know, it seems like a lot of guys around the community is all broke up.
What happened? Hey, Carpenter Rick, how are you, sir?
Well,
Carpenter Rick, how are you doing?
I was talking to Hire today, text.
Right.
And he's dealing with that surgery that he got. I think it's something with the hamstring at the hip area. And you know, Anthony Charles has his knee. He's all laid up too.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Malik on the beat. You're supposed to wear a vest when you're flying at all times.
Well, you don't have to.
At all times, because Herman and I, we've been flying with our vest on, and people would be like, "Ooh, look, a drone. I wonder who's flying it." And automatically they turn and they see the vest and they go, "Oh, it's probably those guys right over there."
Well,
that have.
I tell you why I did the vest. The whole idea of the vest came around. Well, I've seen the vest before I even had the 107, and going into flying here in New York, a lot of times
shots. That's what it's getting to.
It makes sense to be able to kind of like blend in and hide somewhat. But in New York, we have a lot of nosy people, and people are always wondering what's going on, especially since, with some people are still on the super high alert since, 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing to do is to look as professional as possible.
Yes. Yes.
If you don't know a damn thing about what you're doing, if you look professional, you're halfway there. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your suit and tie clean and get fresh white shirts. They'll never know. Get changed the tie every day.
Ron said he likes the before you ask shirts.
Oh yeah. Well, what I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
you know,
you know
when
what?
you have
That works too. And I put it in the chat. That works also, provided the person can read.
yeah, that
There
works.
you go.
That works to an extent, but you'll still get harassed. Now, you remember the night we were down by the bridge, and we
Yeah.
talk about this often
Oh
because
yeah, yes.
we were down by the bridge,
That Twilight
and
shot.
we were all dressed professionally, and the police approached us professionally.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Now, if we were down there in shorts and t-shirts and talking and spitting on the ground, and who knows how the
And
police.
smoking blunts and drinking 40s.
Well,
Yeah.
regardless of that, but how, if we didn't have a professional attire,
Right.
and they didn't see like the hard cases and stuff like that, how would they have approached the situation? They would approach the situation differently, but they saw a professional setup.
Right. And a lady called the cops on us.
Right.
And
Exactly.
said that
Those are
there
the
were
people.
5 guys, even though there were 4 of us over 6'2".
But those are the people who drones are not cool for them at that point.
Yeah.
Well, they have that preconceived idea that you're spying.
Right.
Well, not
We're
that.
up to
She
no good.
reported, the officer told us, someone said that there were guys down here flying a drone and they saw one of the drones over the bridge. And we immediately said, when the officer said, "Where are you?" I said, "Right over here." "Where are you?" "Over there." None of us even went near the bridge. I was the only one that strafed the side of the path, the bridge path. As the bridge is going up on an incline, I was following it up like that. But even then, I was up over the roof of a building far enough away. And at a certain point, it went out over the water. So I know I was probably the closest one to a bridge and never went over it or hovered near it. But the fact that she may have saw a drone flying by or whatever, and then there's these 4 guys in vest at the foot of the bridge looking like they're up to no good, looking in these television screens. Everyone else was going home, right, Herman?
Well, but that also is an indication that depth perception isn't what you think it is in your head. If you're not trained to figure out,
That's true.
The tree behind, the car, in front, whatever. So the average person looks up, that drone could be a mile away and they think it's over the neighbor's property.
Mm-hmm.
Recovery One says, hold on. Recovery One says, let's be real, Herman. She called and reported a large Pac-Man down the street. LOL. Because of the vest.
Well,
hey, what's up?
In all
Karasho.
Jokes aside, most times when you go out and we make jokes about the cones, and I said I like the cones because it makes your setup look even more professional
than what it
you
is.
Set that up and nobody's asking you any questions.
Yeah. You remember we were in Atlantic City and we were flying the lighthouse, the Ambrose Lighthouse, and the lady
says, lady asked me, what can I do about getting the sidewalk?
The sidewalk, she had heels on, and you could see her stumbling down the sidewalk because that's how effed up the sidewalk was. Hey, can you you work for the city? Can you guys?
You got a badge. What can you do about getting these sidewalks fixed?
Yeah, that's all she cared about.
What you guys need to do is to collect a whole bunch of state representatives, city representative, council members, and have a stack of them in your pocket. And you just pull out a card and say, here, give them a call and tell them Tony said to call.
Right. Here's your state assemblyman.
Yeah.
But we've had people come up to us and ask us weird stuff, or just stand there and they don't know whether to come approach us or to just watch.
Right, because once you got a setup, people are like, "Okay, leave them alone. They work."
And it is true.
And when they hear the radio, okay.
Yes,
when I went to the park with Ray and Matt, we spoke with the Parks Department about being able to fly over there. And even though Lance was approval for flying there, the people, because of the radio, the people in the park, and the fact that we were with the Parks Department, thought we were using the drones to look around the park to see if people were keeping their social distance
Yeah, yeah, because people
and staying off
people
the ball field and stuff like that.
people come up with their own conclusion when they see a drone. Either somebody's doing something bad, or somebody's doing something really good, or,
Right.
or someone's under surveillance. I've gotten a bunch of, we've flown for years together. We've experienced a lot, Paul, especially here in New York. It's that time.
Okay, that's it. That's that time. Here we go. Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those
guys.
guys.
Here's your reminder. Keep me up.
Well, all I can say is, if has anyone out there, you recovery one, I know you probably do stuff on sites, but is there anyone out there in the chat that has ever encountered someone and while they were flying? And I know you've always encountered the person that's, what's that? How far does it go? What does it do? That kind of person. But have any of you in the
the
chat
lady that lived by
ever
you.
encountered someone who said, hey, just curious, what are you doing? Is that for the city? Or are you getting paid to do that? Because we get it a lot here in New York.
Paul?
And how do you handle that situation? You, Paul?
Me, what I handle it, I end up, Lynn always teasing me. I might have flown 15, 20 minutes ago and I'm still doing a drone seminar down there,
Paul, the first time Lawrence asked me to come out and fly by the beach.
Oh no. I know where he's going with this,
man.
Paul. I did warn you,
You
didn't
ever
I?
see a dog that get that one tick and it's bothering him to no end, to the point where he just can't do nothing else but try to get it off? This one lady, she comes up.
Hey, what's up, Night Train?
And she says to me, what are you doing? I said, well, what do you mean? I'm flying my drone. She goes, why? I said, well, I'm doing some aerial photography. She goes, why? I said, well, that's what I do. I have a YouTube channel and I do these things for YouTube, but I have my drone up there in the air. She goes, well, what is a grown man doing playing with toys? I'm like,
yeah,
it's not a toy. She goes, well, if it's not a toy, then why does he have one? And she pointed to my son at the time, and he flies. He was the one that got me in the drone.
right.
So I'm like, it's not a toy. She goes, and why is he playing with it? I'm like, he's not playing with it. He knows exactly what he's doing. So now she's standing there and she's just chewing me like everything that I answered for her. Her next question was why. So I had to elaborate.
Now this is while he's flying.
I'm trying to fly, right? So now her family comes and they're gathering around. Some other people start gathering around. So I said to Lawrence, I got a low battery. I'm going to go out onto the sand and hand catch the drone because I got a lot of people here. She goes, why? I said, well, I don't want anyone to get hit by it.
Right.
She goes, oh, it'll hit us? I was like, no, it's not trying to hit you, but you are distracting me.
Right. But she didn't get that.
You've been distracting me.
She didn't get that. And now her family's standing around her going, ooh and ah.
And they're all looking over the shoulder at the screen. And I'm like, my goodness, a whole battery wasted answering questions.
But see, that just goes to show what's old becomes new again, because you're now the version in New York City of the old barnstorming days when the guys used to fly the biplanes. And they used to get crowds and sell tickets, and they go, ooh, wow.
And they come by swooping real low and then take off.
Yeah.
So now I'm all for Lawrence, set up the perimeter. That's it. Rope it off.
Yeah.
Set the beacons up. That's it.
I get it now why he wants to have cones.
Yes.
We got a 10
Because
by 10
we had cones. Had we had cones where we flew from, it's the end of the sidewalk. So it's like a little runway. You have the end of the sidewalk, and then you have beach, and then you have water. So I call it the runway, because that's what it looks like when you're coming in to land. And they had the sidewalk blocked with their
Yeah,
family.
I couldn't land.
And they're all going, why? Who, mommy? Look, there it is. Over, you know, just this whole thing. Herman, I still thought he wasn't going to come back out there and fly no more.
Well, Herman, get another big case and you take a TV and you prop it up there, plug it in, so they can watch the drone from behind you.
Also, Recovery One, you got to have that ID, because while
Yes,
people are
please.
very slick, and I'm sure you've encountered this, guys. Eat More Possum, how are you? But, I'm sure you guys have encountered this. You're flying and someone's talking to you, and while they're talking to you, they're reading your ID.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they see FAA
Like,
on it or whatever, or registration or whatever they see on it, they're like, you're working here? You getting paid? You know, it's
now be
Well,
very,
you could play with them at that point. I've had them say, "So you're a commercial drone pilot?" I say, "Yeah." They say, "Do you make a lot of money?" "Oh, so much, hand over fist. I just can't. I'm just so busy. I can't stand. I don't know how to count the money."
now be very careful of that guy that comes up to him like, yo, you do music videos. Watch out for that guy, because
Yeah.
he wants something or nothing.
I've encountered it.
I had a
Guy
guy come up
approached
and
my
ask me
friend
if
in a
I
public
did
park
music
and
videos,
asked.
Herman, and I started singing. I said, "Yeah, I sing along with it." He turned around and walked away.
Eat More Possum says a guy approached his friend in a public park and asked if the drone was filming his children. He said his wife sent him over to ask.
I can believe that.
Put some pants on.
I can believe that. But you know what's funny about that? If you're in public, there's no perception of privacy.
You're right. Lynn says she loves it when the old ladies hit on Paul.
Oh yeah?
Lenny.
How'd that look?
Lenny just blew him up, Herman. You see, he even backed away from the computer. That's right, Lynn. Tell us more. She just blew him up.
Lenny follows me around and slaps the old ladies in the back of the head.
Hold on, Paul. Let me find out you're going down there. You know how the guy next door acts to walk your dog all the time, and he's really using it to catch chicks? Let me find out you're using your drone for that down by the water side.
Paul down there, the old women are sounding like, oh, Paul, me young, he running around here flying. He's a pilot, girl.
Oh, Herman, you remember the last time he's like, a ship's coming, I gotta go. You sure it was a ship, or was it one of them old biddies that be trying to
You bringing Paul cheese?
No, but even worse, Herman, he knows what time they pass a certain spot. So if he's there flying, he knows he's gonna run into her, right?
Well, Sarah brings cheesecake and Allison brings donuts.
This what? Oh, they feed them too.
I just told you.
Wow.
How we know?
Paul the pimp. and it, my goodness.
It's called drone trolling.
Drone trolling.
Oh man, Paul got all the names.
Pimp, that's it. Pimping the drone. Everyone, most people ask to walk their neighbor's dog.
Of YouTube, he's got. Oh God! Oh my God! What Mutual Omaha, Paul's Kingdom,
right?
He's got. What else?
Tell me, Paul. Did you go out there flying one day?
Pimp my drone.
Did you go out there flying one day under the bridge, Paul, and then one day all of a sudden you saw about 6 or 7 elderly women out there doing yoga?
Well, the bad part is
hey, what's up?
I don't know. I don't quite
Rob?
know how to handle the ones that are in the power chairs going around behind me. You know.
What's up, Rob? Good morning to you over there in Australia. Wow, Paul. You had me fooled all this time.
Yo, Paul.
Excuse me. I really thought you were chasing ships.
Yo,
it's like Agnes is there at 5:07. Lorraine comes through at 5:10 with the cheesecake.
Oh,
he's just got a.
Well, what is really what really stepped up my game was Ron 3X Drones talked me into start wearing my Hawaiian shirt.
Hold on. Flashing news. Lynn just blew you up even more.
Yeah.
One lady saw me, asked if I was his wife. I said, "Oh no, he's available."
But the Hawaiian shirts really stepped up my game.
Oh my goodness, I'm almost in tears.
You know what's the funniest part about that? I was watching a program years ago. You know, that is the easiest way to attract more women. Is to have a woman around.
Well, yeah, because you have to have bait, you know?
Well, no, because women have a tendency to say that they think like, okay, well, if he's with her, then that means he's capable of being with somebody.
He's safe, yep.
Right. That means I want him. I don't want to try to create my own situation. I want him. It's already proven. Good. That's what I want.
Yes, it's been scientifically proven and tested. By Paul.
Views and opinions.
Paul the man Mary himself.
The views and opinions expressed here tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everybody on the panel.
Listen, you wanna attract women, have a woman around.
It's true. It's true. So, Lynn, what else can you tell us about Paul the
Lenny?
Oh, yeah, what else goes on down by the river?
Yeah, had me thinking he's going down there filming ships. He's catching all the old ladies, bringing them cheesecake and coffee and
donuts
and donuts.
And Diet Pepsi.
And Paul, you're far from anyone who looks like they're hungry.
Oh no,
so
no,
they gotta be trying to work.
And some of them are a little bit more pushy. How you can tell is, you know, at 50 years old, they're wearing push-up bras and they got it cut down to way down to their navel. You know, like okay, hey, Allison's that way.
Whatever.
That's right, 3X Drone. That's right, Ron. Pimping
it works. Whatever works, Paul. If it can get you some more batteries for the drone.
Well, the thing of it was Herman. Remember that lady that was bugging the hell out of you?
Yeah.
I'm almost willing to bet her name is Karen. She sounds like a Karen to me.
You know what? Had I not handled the situation the right way, it might have became one. It might have became one.
Let's get away from Karen and get back on drones, because I'm finding out a little too much information about you, Paul. Well, I'm disappointed. Actually, I thought we were boys, Paul.
Actually, you know what's funny about that, Lawrence?
No, Herman.
This whole subject of where we are talking carried us over from the last point was that people don't like drones. But apparently, Paul is scientific proof.
You guys are going to miss the fun stuff after the show. We know that.
Paul is scientific proof that might not be true. It's all in the eyes of the beholder.
Well, Mia's always sitting in the truck with the windows down, unless it's really hot, and the tunes are on just for Mia. I don't turn them on to attract any quail or anything, but Mia sits in there with the tunes going, and they all come up and they go over to the passenger side and start patting Mia and everything, and stroking Mia while they look at me and smile. It's like, what?
Robert says, "What the hell did he walk into?" Robert. Paul has been fooling all of us. When he said he was going to fly, dude, he was going to fly all right. Paul's down at the river pimping donuts and cakes and candy and stuff.
He got women bringing
from the elderly women down there. Stuff.
And some of them is not elderly, said they in their 50s.
Yeah, 50s.
Look at that. See that?
Sorry, Malik on the beat. No advertising here.
And once you, the really nice ladies, once you get past,
he uses me as bait too. Lynn, trust me, I already know.
It's really nice. They're really nice women. If somebody's looking, I can hook you up. once they get
they're nice.
once you get past the why they're divorced or single or whatever.
Hey,
they're
Herman.
nice. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said earlier? I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna read the disclaimer first, and then I'm gonna get into what I'm talking about. But the views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat tonight. But you heard how he was talking about, how they be trying to come down there with a push-up bra
Yeah, I heard him.
at 90.
No. He said at 50.
Yeah, he did say 50. He did say 50. So
And they got them tight little
Daryl
shorty
Hickman,
shorts
you're
on
right.
it.
Paul, Fly Guy Murray, the pimp, the hustler, the man, the legend. I've been sleeping you, Paul. We're gonna have to talk after this damn show.
Well, it sounds to me like you guys already got it going on. You're beating them off in New
You're the
York with
topic
a
tonight.
stick.
You're the
Get
topic
away,
tonight,
get
dude.
away, get away.
I'm skipping dinner, Paul.
Well, you know
You're the
what?
topic.
Like I told Lawrence, I was like, we need to go down to Kennedy and go hang out in the pilot's
In
lounge.
the pilot's lounge, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a pilot.
Yes.
What airline you fly with? Because I'll sit there all day and enjoy the refreshments.
Yeah.
Sure.
that
I'm
would
like,
be
well, what
great.
airline you in? I'm with DJI.
Right. I fly DJI. That's all. Is that a new line? No, they've been around for a few years. Where you been? Are they they're privately owned and run.
Yeah, private airline.
They'd never have any idea.
Private airline out of China.
Rasho says TMI, too much information. My Neil. How are you, man? What's going on?
Oh, see now, Paul. See.
Now that came from our friend Andrew over in Canada.
Paul, you're gonna burn for that.
Oh yeah. Because I actually have the original of that.
Oh my goodness. See, he had to strike back. We blowing his game up. He's probably got a few of the elderly ones watching now. You know how the numbers be going up for him? That's why you be up at 3 a.m. in the morning, huh?
Now she said the audience is awake at that time, making carrot cake.
Let me find out, Paul, you're into geriatric dating. Oh my goodness.
We have fun. We have fun on this channel.
Ron said he could not unsee that, Herman. Well, Andrew from Pusa Studios nicely did that and handed it off to Paul.
Andrew is one of the fastest fingered guys on a computer I've ever seen. He's got
Robert.
a picture of me in a rowboat tilted back like that and I'm eating a donut or something.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember that one?
That's why you have to keep moving on the screen because you never know when he's trying to catch a screenshot.
Yes,
of it. So you keep moving around and stuff like that. It's harder.
That's what you got to do just to be on.
Oh, Lynn just keeps feeding me more material. Who's the brownie lady, Paul?
Uh-oh.
Who's the brownie lady?
Well,
Paul?
Sharon's nice, but you know.
And they're on a first name basis.
You hear that?
Huh?
You hear that, right?
Yeah, Sharon's nice. Okay, how old is she, Paul?
48.
They getting younger and younger, huh? You know what? They probably be on their phone. He might be down there. There's a big ship coming through.
Well, I draw a line at 29. I draw the line at 29, you know?
At where?
29.
Okay. All right. Well, another 20 years, you're almost there. Oh, my goodness, Paul. Yo, Robert, what we're finding out, he likes that young stuff, Lynn says.
Lawrence, I can show you the original of that picture.
Yeah,
let me
show
just
the
say,
original.
for those of you, yes, hit the like button. For those of you who have come in late, oh no, here's the original. Captain Herman, to you, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I can't no more. I'm done.
What you could do, Herman, is take that and Photoshop it and say, I'll be your pilot. Come fly with me. You know.
Well, sound like what you doing down by the river.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, don't get me
Well,
involved.
I gotta share the moves with my buddy Herman.
So that's where he gets all those snacky cakes, probably.
Well, I mean,
He don't
think
even
about
go
it.
to BJ's. He just go hang out down by the water with
Think
his
about
friend.
it, Lawrence. Herman's been putting you on, shining you all this time because he's got all of these guys sending their wives over to him to ask him if he's taking their photos. You know, it's like, do you get that done? Do they do that for you, Lawrence? No, it's a Herman.
Yo,
Listen.
Lauren, you ever talk about thunderstorms?
Yes, yes.
Because I keep hearing some grumble
Yes,
out here.
we're supposed to get scattered thunderstorms tonight, all the way
No,
up,
that was a picture that somebody
up
else
until about 10 o'clock.
Photoshop worked with.
Yes, Andrew from Pusa
Yeah.
Studios. Do not sit still on the screen. Why do you think Paul sits halfway off the screen?
Yep,
He
half
was
on, half
donut.
off.
He put a donut in Paul's mouth and put him on a boat.
He was
Yep.
trying to
He's the king of Photoshop that I know.
Yep.
trying to make a joke saying
On
that
this circuit.
I dress up like a pilot to go fly.
Yeah. He was trying to be funny, but Paul snatched a picture of it. But don't change the subject, Paul. You never asked. You never finished telling me about the brownie lady.
Oh, the brownie lady?
He just said Sharon's a nice person, and that
Yeah,
was
Sharon is. Well, in this kind of weather, I don't mind the ice cream cones either from Kathy or Melanie. They bring me ice cream.
they bring him ice cream.
Yeah.
See, Paul. Right now, there's a man sitting in his house, don't have dinner because someone's bringing you damn ice cream.
You know why that's so funny to me?
Yeah, Big Matt sitting on the dock of the bay.
And
Paul.
I always call Sweet Barbara. Sweet Barbara, because she always gives me those Hershey kisses.
Oh,
You know-
all right.
You know what's funny about that, Lawrence?
Huh.
Some of these women have probably been down by the water at the same time, but Paul wasn't there.
Right.
Now, if Paul went down there and with his charger and stayed down there all day, this liable to be a fight.
Probably.
Well, that's entertainment.
Paul just be sitting there eating brownies, cakes,
What's good, Matt?
beef stew
I carry the bell down there so
while they're arguing.
I can referee the fights. You know,
Well,
like
Paul, all I can say is the first one that brings you a pot and says, you look hungry, eat this, you better watch out. Because that means she's ready to fight the rest of them bringing in them cakes.
Well, I think it's already at that point if they're bringing them baked goods.
Yo, Robert, I'm finding out more and more through Lynn, and he's finally can remember those times that he's like, there's a ship coming through. I gotta be down. I'll be right back. He was going and getting damn brownies.
Or cheesecake.
Or ho-hos or whatever the hell they were
Well,
giving.
well, the hose do
Ho-hos.
hang around, but I don't pay much attention to the hose. So
Oh, Lynn said when he asked to borrow the motorhome to go flying, I said no.
she wanted a $300 cleaning deposit. What the hell is that all about?
Well, hell, Lynn got to get paid too. Oh my goodness. Tell Lynn.
Paul comes back to all the batteries fully charged.
That's right, Lynn. What you say, if he's going to use my shit, I'm going to get paid for it. Oh my goodness. That cleaning, $300 cleaning fee. What kind of cleaning you needed to do in a motorhome that cost $300?
Yeah, you got to remember, I'm 68 years old. I'm not all over the place, you know, just
Well, apparently you are down by
just
the
a spot here and there, you know.
river. Down by the river. That's not what they
Sitting
say.
on the dock of the bay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wasting time.
Oh no. Robert said Paul's milkshakes got the ladies coming to the yard. Stop, I'm in tears, man, already. I can't no more.
No. This can't be happening.
Oh my goodness.
So
We've we've slightly got distracted tonight, only
So-
because we're finding out more and more about Paul.
Well, you know what's funny in the
Look at him, he's squirming now. He's holding his neck.
no, but Lars, in the distraction, right? Think about it. It actually went from we actually were on topic because we're talking
We
about
were.
how people don't like drones, and we've gone through the whole list, you know, of the 7 different reasons why drone delivery won't work.
Right.
And my added yet, but because we've gone through and listed and everything that we've come up with, well, they come up with on this list, we've seen where things have changed.
And have
All
advanced.
is showing us that people really might not like.
Well,
they don't like drones.
what I look at it as a public service to all my drone friends,
Mhm.
because I'm giving a new, fresh attitude to all these people about drones.
I can't get that milkshake song out of my head.
Does that work for you guys?
I can't. I'm a picture of Paul down at the water, my milkshake. I can't, man. Oh, my God.
Jasmine's, she's special too. She likes to bring me fried rice.
Lynn says, you know, all the ladies down there, and they're all regulars.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's some man sitting at home hungry because his wife is down at the
They
water
get all
trying
the fried
to
rice.
bring Paul dessert that she made for the house.
Yeah, when she gets home, there's a couple of slices missing. He says, "What's this?" Oh, I had to test it, honey.
Later, Jackson RC. Have a great evening, man.
Take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, that's true. The Hawaiian shirts are going to make them think you're loaded.
I'll be
and
right
got a
back,
yacht.
guys.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like me is attacking something. It's,
Yeah.
it's not. Well, we know it's not a skunk.
Somebody's out there.
We know it's not a skunk.
Paul's zoo comes out at night.
No wonder you got so many animals around. Now we're starting to see, Herman, it's starting to come together. Even the animals can't stay away. Either that or they smell all that sugar coming out his house.
What happened?
I said, no wonder he's got all those animals coming around. Either that or they could smell the sugar coming out of his house.
Oh. Well, that's a possibility too. Like I told him, all the animals that keep changing every time you turn around, he's got a new video with some more animals coming in there. They're gonna bring their bear friend, and the bear friend are gonna be looking for them baked goods.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Global Drone says, did you ever drive a good humor truck?
Did
I
they
don't
ever
know where
drive
he's
a
going.
what?
I don't know where he's going with that one, but
Well, I've always had good humor, and it seems to be very attractive. It's kind of like a aphrodisiac for these middle-aged people.
middle age. He's calling them 49 and 50 middle age.
Well, most people don't live to be 100, so technically.
Paul, they're bringing you everything but a solid meal. When I told you, when the first one that brings you a meal, that means she's ready to fight the rest.
Well,
I'm telling you. I'll be right back.
Well, Herman's got it going on too with the ladies asking him questions and questions and questions.
Well, you know, this one lady, she just was extra interested in needing to know.
Oh, Herman, you never thought to think she was interested in you
No, because
more than the drone, but she didn't
had
want
a
to.
whole-
She wanted to use a conversation to get to know the real Herman.
No, I didn't think so, because her questions was on point and precise to exactly what I was doing. Because every answer that I gave her, she wanted to know why I needed to. I had to elaborate on that for her. She just needed to know why. And actually, that was like one of the worst situations I ever had. Most situations, I don't have that. I don't have that. People will ask, you know, what are you doing? And that's why I said to you, you know, it's a lot. That's when people always ask me, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, that's the perfect opportunity to get that one guy to subscribe to your YouTube channel. What are you doing? Oh, well, you know, drone pilot. And I have a little YouTube channel, and, you know, I put videos out of different places that I travel to. Oh, yeah. Oh, like my video that's coming out tomorrow. there was well, I shot this a couple of days before I went into the hospital for surgery, and I met Lawrence out on the beach, and that was the day that remember that the young man came into the chat a couple of shows back Sunday night and asked if we remembered him from the beach. Well, that incident that took place where the lady was telling me and Lawrence about the how the lady, she walked up on Lawrence when he was flying, her and her family, and said that the lady down on the other end of the beach got all, you know, was accusing them of flying a drone back and forth past her. So that's the video that's coming out, you know, with that whole thing there.
You're gonna title it "Mistaken Identity"?
No, it's coming. It'll lay out. You'll see the announcement for it. You'll see if you got the bell click. You'll see it. It'll come up on the beach. You know, I wanted to get some footage before the surgical because I know the doctors were calling me and talking to me about it. I didn't expect it to come up so quick. You know, after waiting so long, I thought they were going to ride it out and then it was going to be a miserable situation where I had to do it in the wintertime. But I'm kind of glad they got it over with. But yeah, I got the call for the corona test the day after, and then the next day was they talking about surgery. So, you know, I was out with Lawrence on the beach, and the lady came up while Lawrence was flying, and she's like, "Oh, that lady was screaming on us about flying the drone past her, and she was making a big deal about this, that, and the other." So I got the video coming out. It's a nice little video. Just flying on the beach. Okay, you guys ready for that drop?
Of course.
Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by
Those
guys.
Watching all the girls go by. Lynn is in a rare terror tonight.
She's on fire.
Robert with the freaks come out at night.
Yeah.
Nah, during the daytime, Paul be out there.
Yeah.
So apparently they don't go out.
Even early in the morning, I go down there and there might only be 3 cars in the whole parking lot. Next thing I know, I got 10 cars on this side, 10 cars on that side.
Did you get hash browns in the morning, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? You better stop playing around. One of them gonna poison your ass. You better leave that stuff alone, Paul. Because you're not paying as much attention to her as you are to Sarah or the one that brings cheesecake.
Well, I tell them all, you know, it's a community. We're all together.
Oh, Lynn says he can see better by daylight.
Yo, Lawrence, you know what I noticed too?
What's that?
Being is that it's Sundays, right? I told you we were doing the dropping a shot. I notice I'm the only one that's taking a drink after every drop.
Oh no, I have some beer here. I'm drinking a beer.
Well, the other thing too is what I have noticed is over a period of the last year
You're
or
right,
so,
Lynn.
they're starting to come down there more and more like they're going to the opera or something. They're dressed up and the makeup's just perfect and the hair is perfect. And
What'd you say? It's 90 degrees out and she got a mink on?
yeah.
Yo, Paul. Lynn, listen to Lynn. Lynn said one of them is gonna follow you behind home. You better chill.
And they got a slit up the side of the dress, you know. And
Paul, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to be careful. You know, sometimes they find their way into your house.
that's why I got cameras, Herman.
Even if you don't let them.
True.
That's why I got cameras.
It don't matter. They'll be waiting for you.
Paul's gonna go down by the water and come back in, and some chick's gonna be in your house cooking food for you. Talk about you gotta throw this out of the freezer. This is too old. It's from 2003.
Well,
Lenny
is my girl. She'll take care of me.
Lynn, make sure you keep the 4.5 loaded. Just in case Paul be like, help, she got me tied up. You got to be able to go, Lynn. Shoot the lock off the door. Shoot the lock off the door and go in a blazing. Because that might be the only thing that saves his behind.
Yeah, I do. I got several guns.
Hey, Paul, my wife said it'll be like Basic Instinct. You're gonna walk in from flying, and she's gonna be cooking someone else's rabbit. You remember the movie Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone? That she got jealous and cooked dude's pet rabbit.
Yeah.
Gonna watch it, Paul. My baby don't eat gray fish sticks. Robert said. Robert said, my baby don't eat gray fish sticks no more.
All too busy eating cheesecake.
Later, Sean. Have a great evening, brother.
Kind of other sweet snacks down there.
Good night, Sean.
All right,
Good night,
Sean. Take it easy.
What happened?
Paul's getting all kind of other sweet snacks down there. What other kind of sweet snacks you getting down there, Paul, that we don't know about? Oh,
Right.
Lynn's still in the chat. You can tell us.
You've
more.
had brownies, cheesecake, what?
Cheesecake,
Brownies,
candy,
candy.
sodas.
You better watch that candy. Wake up in the basement with your ankles tied. You better watch that candy, man. Seriously.
Donuts.
They won't hang around at night. He has the skunks patrolling to make sure. Blind Neil said that. I didn't see that. I missed that. Good one. That's why the skunks are there. Oh my goodness, Paul.
Ice
you got
cream.
breakfast
milkshakes.
biscuits. He said, Lynn says breakfast biscuits.
Yep.
Paul got it going on over
It's
there.
a smorgasbord down there, that's for sure.
No wonder you don't have to cook. You're eating every time you go down by the water.
Well, I have to carry my own throne chair that I pull out the back of the truck
Summers must be great.
I know, right?
when I hold court down there.
No one's brought you any barbecue by?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on
Well,
a second. So that means that on Wednesday nights or Wednesday evenings, like 5 o'clock, and on maybe even Roger's show, it's cramping your style.
Yeah. Yeah.
not really, because they'll wait for me.
You'll probably
okay.
Oh,
They'll
see,
wait.
He
for
just
me.
blew it up. And Lynn says he likes that. All right, Paul. All right.
Okay.
That's right. Stick your chest out like the rooster. That's right. Walk around. I'm not mad at you, Paul. Check this out. Oh, here's Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Robert.
What the hell?
Yeah, Robert. That's what it's come down to.
Paul's been lying to us all, Robert.
Lying?
I'm letting you know now. He's got all these chicks down by the waters. So it leads me to believe a couple of times when he said, I got to go catch this ship, he was going to get donuts.
Yeah.
He sold us out for cheesecake.
Hey, Jolene, I gotta go to Port Heron.
See, they're Shirley right now cruising the parking lot looking for.
That's Shirley's car cruising a lot, looking for
She's looking for
truck.
Paul.
She's looking for his truck. See?
Yep.
And Paul, that's bad that you can identify cars down there.
Flavor of the
That's-
week.
Nah, Paul's not down there. That means you got to put that back in the refrigerator.
Mhm.
Or just put it in her husband's lunch bag for tomorrow.
Right?
Oh.
Your husband might
And
get
cut
it.
him a fresh piece.
I thought about putting a drop box down here in this parking lot where they could just leave it and go.
Oh shit! Lynn said flavor of the week.
Yeah, it's usually flavor of the day.
Oh
Because
my
mine
goodness,
are
Robert!
better
Hey,
than yours.
Robert, help me out here because I'm finding out
There
all
ain't
this
no
stuff.
help.
finding
Ain't no
out all
help.
this
Oh,
stuff.
Lawrence, if the show was monetized, I'd just say you said all the super chats to Lynn.
All I know is see what I tell you the next damn time you say I gotta go fly a ship. I'll be back. and you don't bring me back a brownie, I'm gonna be
Well,
tight.
that's because you guys don't pay attention to here. It's when they start chesting me, I know they're calling me, you know?
Chesting you.
Chesting him.
I don't know what that means. But,
He said
It's like
some
the
50,
signal.
he
the
said some
signal.
50. Hey Robert, before you came, he was talking about some 50-year-old came down.
I seen
Lynn
that.
says he brags, and some 50-year-old came down with some push-up bra.
I don't know if I should say this or not, but
Hold on. Let me
Paul
turn-
is the geriatric Epstein.
Oh my goodness.
No, I look at my role kind of like the Blue Water version of what was the guy that had Playboy?
What? Oh, Hugh Hefner.
Drop
Hugh
Gold
Hefner.
Girl.
Yep.
He's the silver fox.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner.
Yes, babe.
That's what he is.
No, well, that.
He's Paul.
Thanks, babe.
I found out so much, Paul, tonight, and I've known you for a little bit now. Hey, Jay Santiago. Jay
what's up,
Santiago,
Jay?
you may have to
Wonder
go
where
back
Julie's
and watch
at.
this one later,
There goes
Jay.
Julie.
yeah,
Jay, trust me, you're gonna have to watch this one
yeah,
later.
because this
You missed a hell of a live stream.
took off into another
Yeah.
realm.
I found out some things tonight about Paul. I don't know if I should know.
I
Yeah,
found
we're
out
gonna
one
go-
thing that
I'm gonna go fly a big ship.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and come back with ho-hos.
big ship. And when you say
Many ho-hos.
when you say a big ship, Paul, is that like code for like she's loaded?
Yeah.
Kinda. and she's either going upstream or downstream, you know?
She's
I
coming in the
gotta go, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go.
I know, Paul. Paul. I'm still trying to get past the milkshake thing.
You had me laughing.
That's right.
You had me laughing. I said that, and then you said you got it stuck in your head, and I'm like,
It,
oh,
it
Chris.
was. I could picture Paul down by the water going, my milkshake.
Because you've seen the video.
Down there waiting for these old ladies to bring him brownies and cheesecake and candy and what else? What have you gotten that would surprise us, Paul?
Well,
Seriously.
you got to set up a camera down there now.
I know.
And he's
And
probably saying, you
incorporate
know,
that with some of your
With your
drone
ship
footage.
videos, right?
Well, the good stuff I get with the pen cam.
Okay.
when they
Oh
bend
my
over the
goodness.
window.
That goes into the private stock.
Lynn says Paul's got moves. Okay. All right.
I'll be right back, guys.
Let's see. Are you really coming back, or you're going to get brownies?
He's got a big ship.
What's going on, Robert? Before we went squirrel,
What's up, Robert?
You guys did,
what
man.
what did you come in on? When did you come in?
I came in when you guys were talking about Paul going to get a big ship, and then he starts going on about the lady with the brownies. Yeah.
Well, it got into that because we were going over a 5-year-old article as to why drone delivery won't work,
Right.
Oh.
and the number one reason why was people don't like drones, and
Yeah.
in each of the reasons we've seen where we've had growth in those 5 years, and
Right.
when we got down to people, number one, which was people don't like drones, and we were talking about why drones are good to some people and not good to people in other times. And Paul started to talk about when he goes down to fly, and some of the women down there take care of him with, different snacks and treats and stuff like that. And it just started to escalate, and Lynn started to mention that there was several of them. And he's mentioned at least
Okay, Louise, thank you. Tell the gals I'll be down there shortly. Okay,
he's
thanks.
mentioned at least six.
Quit showing him your milkshake, damn it.
Yeah. Right.
No, Louise brought me a
The
An
ice cream salmon.
This
Oh,
Lynn,
that's
Lynn,
ice cream salmon.
Lynn. Don't tell me he's got him knocking on the door too. Snowball effect. Yep, I agree. The
Ooh,
snowball effect.
this is right. Oh yeah, smells like Louise. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an ice cream sandwich, Paul.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Salute.
I
Paul.
see the guy from Saturday Night Live, the ladies' man. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
With
remember.
his bottle of Cavassier.
Yes. Paul is coming out. I had no idea
But he's-
Paul was the ladies' man. He sits here and acts like he shops on Amazon all day. It's probably to get stuff to clean all that
Yeah.
sugar out his blood.
He ain't on Amazon. He's on Adam and Eve.
Yeah, right. What's that website for seniors? I bet Paul got a profile there. Hold on. There's a website for seniors.
Why? He doesn't have to. He can go
It's
down
called
by
Flip
the
Flop.
water.
Flip flop.
Oh my goodness.
All he gotta do is go down by the water and take me with him in a drone. That's it.
Yeah. Poor drone being used like that.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Paul,
They don't like the dog.
I just. Oh, wait a minute. Here's something drone related. It's drone related, but not drone related. June 25th. I forgot about this, but I just saw it on Google. On June 25th is called Film Your Day on July 25th. Now, what YouTube wants you to do is YouTube wants you to film your day. Now, it doesn't have to be you getting up out of bed in the morning and getting ready. It could be anything that you do throughout the day. So I was thinking about entering it as a drone pilot.
Okay.
Film my day
There you
with
go.
flying. But YouTube is going to, and if you're picked, I think you have to hashtag it something. But here's the link. Hold on. Life in a day. I'll put it in, and I'm actually thinking about using some drone footage to film my day.
Ooh.
Right there. Global Drone said, check the expiration date on that sandwich. It don't matter. It's gone.
Vintage
But
or not, it's
this
now.
is the link. Click this link. It's supposed to be Life in a Day. It's sponsored by YouTube, and at one time, artists and photographers and movie directors, amateur movie directors, were trying to enter this contest. Now they're accepting anything. So I figured everyone would be walking around with a camera. Why not I film my part of the day flying a drone?
As a drone pilot,
something
yeah.
to that effect. So on the 25th, in 3 more days, that link that I put,
You gonna enter it?
yeah, I'm gonna take
The
part.
one on the beach? Where you're flying down the beach?
I don't know. I might.
That was good, Lawrence. That was really good.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're
Thank
gonna
you,
have,
man. That was Hadley's famous idea.
you're gonna have
That's
to
his
put
idea.
some,
What happened,
vlogging
Herman?
footage. You're gonna have to enter some vlogging footage.
Okay,
for a day.
you will have to enter vlogging because they're saying right now, I'm looking at the page, we'd also like you to show or tell us the answers to these 4 questions. What do you love? What do you fear? What do you like to change, either about the world or your own life? And what's in your pocket? Why? I don't know. I don't care. But it seems like an interesting contest to get into. And if you're selected, they're going to come. Now, I know there will be thousands of submissions, but
That's the icebreaker
if
question.
they select your video, YouTube is actually going to compile them into one large video.
Okay.
I mean, what the hell? It's
That'd be
a
cool.
shot in the
Yeah.
dark. You have a better chance playing lotto.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
You know that's those are icebreaker questions.
Yes.
What do you got in your pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well-
we don't want to ask Paul that question.
Well,
They do.
well, if I ask you, tell me about something that you have in your pocket and why you carry it.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So I'm gonna look. I actually filming requirements. Hold on. Let's look at this. You will need to comply with the following conditions for your work to be considered for inclusion in the finished film. Appearance release. When filming anyone other than yourself, such as your family or friends or strangers, you must get them to sign an appearance release form, which they have a link for. So anyone else that's in your video other than you, in order for them to be in that video, if they don't sign this form and you don't submit this with your work, you'll have to blur them out. This is essential, especially for anyone who is clearly identifiable, talks to the camera, or can be heard talking.
Okay.
How to
make
use
it tough flying down the beach with all the people around.
And it even has a link where you can download flying down the beach, you can't identify them.
No, you can't identify.
You can't identify anyone on that video, but you can download the release form. If you don't have a printer, I think they even have a link for if you don't have a printer. More tips on usable footage.
Okay.
Yeah, this is quite detailed. I'm just trying to see if maybe they want it in a specific format, but I guess because you're going to be uploading it to YouTube anyway. Check out the link. I put the link there, and it's very descriptive. At the top, it has the home, take part, filming requirement, who's involved, upload footage.
Okay.
And on the far right-hand corner, it says set a reminder to watch the final video.
Okay.
But you have to answer.
Comes out tomorrow.
What happened?
That day we were on the beach. When I went on the beach.
Yeah.
To go fly.
Now, see, you would need a release form for the people that you would need a release form for them. You have to submit it. Submissions are open from July 25th. Oh, it starts July 25th. They'll start taking submissions until August 2nd. After submissions close, a team of researchers and editors will review the clips received. If your footage is used in the final film, we will contact you later in the year.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
So you got about a week we can work on something.
That's interesting.
Plan it out.
That's real interesting. Tips for filming. Follow a few of these simple tips. Storytelling. Shoot landscape. Hold your shots. Length, language, all of that is a key factor.
Well, that's easy.
So, Paul, you can't get on there talking about your milkshake. I'm just saying.
Shake.
How many it brings to the yard.
Capture highest quality possible in 24 frames per second. That's what I wanted to know. They specifically want your footage in 24 frames per second. Yeah. So choose. Hold on.
48 and drop it.
Hold on. Yeah. It says capture highest quality possible in 24, but under it there's a paragraph. We'll accept footage shot on any device, including mobile phones, but higher resolution footage will translate better to the finished film. So choose 4K over 1080 if your camera will allow it. Also select 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second. So basically they're looking for...
Okay, so you could do a 60 frame shoot and then render down to 30.
Yes, go to the settings in your phone and see if it can do it. Get the best sound. We need to be able to hear you properly. It's telling you how to produce a movie for this event. It's giving you all of the hints and tips.
It's got your name written all over it.
Listen, I have some stuff I could probably do. That's why I said I wanted to enter it for flying a drone. Now I would have to add vlog footage.
That's
but
all right.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I really don't have a problem with that. I mean, vlog footage is, it's funny. I can get on here and talk with you guys like that, but as soon as I put a camera up in front of me, I'm like a humming.
Yeah.
Herman's laughing.
Even with other people there?
Even with other people there. Herman, how many times? Okay, here's a quick answer, Robert and Paul. Herman, in the years, we've been flying almost 3 years. You've seen me shoot numerous vlog footage. Mm-hmm. How much vlog footage have you seen in comparison to what I shoot?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Not a lot.
Okay, now watch this. Tomorrow I got a video coming out, right? Mm-hmm. Lawrence is not paying attention to the camera, but he's talking.
Because I have goggles on. I can't see you like this on me. But yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Hey, Global Drones, take it easy, bro. I nominate Paul for MVP of the show. Good sportsmanship. Took one for the team tonight.
That's hands down. That's hands down.
The first, you're
definitely
talking in the first few minutes of the video.
I don't know. I guess I'm comfortable around you. You always have a camera in your hand. But I will do, for this life in a day, I would do a vlog. I would seriously do a vlog. I may have to have a drink like Robert just had to relax, but
You know what
After
makes
what
it
I
e-
heard today,
you know what makes it even easier? If you
Give me a
have
little
somebody
leeway.
holding the camera that knows what they're doing with the camera,
it does. You're
and
100%
you
right.
have somebody else to interact with,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy.
It does. It really does.
It makes a difference.
You're
Gotta
right
make
about
it a
that.
production.
As opposed to trying to find the right focal length of the camera in front of you. Like right here, look, I still have my Osmo, my old joint. I was talking about this today. I should pop this effer out, charge the phone that's balanced for it in here, and do it.
Yeah.
No, you should.
Easier said than done.
Walk a mile on the beach.
Well,
You know what?
Herman will call you periodically and ask you how you're coming with that project.
All you gotta do is walk past
When's
the where you
the closing date for that?
What's that? The finishing
August the
date,
2nd.
Oh,
it,
okay.
it goes from the 20, it starts the 25th. They're taking submissions. The
So it's
25th
open for
in
7
3
days,
days. In 3 days, they're taking submissions all the way up till August 2nd.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
7 days.
I mean, what the hell? You guys are YouTube creators. If you weren't, you wouldn't be on here. Okay? You're
Yeah.
drone pilots. I know 9 out of 10 people are going to be using DSLRs and all these high-tech cameras and stuff, but very few people are thinking
You know
about
what?
submitting
Honestly,
a video with the drone.
You know who that sounds good for? And believe it or not, I mean, he hasn't been in the chat in a long time.
Oh,
Eddie Nunez.
yeah, because he vlogs and
This
flies.
is his type of thing.
He vlogs and flies. That's true. You're right about that.
Or
Well,
Philly.
I'm actually going to bookmark this page here.
Yeah,
And
please do.
I'm setting a reminder. Oh, wow. Go straight. Wow, they got it down. Go straight to Google.
mean,
Life
if
in a
I
Day
was-
save.
If I had, the ability, I'd be out there doing it.
Well, what we do is we hire an actress to go out there and redo your encounter with that lady.
I can't walk, Paul. I can't go out on the sand and go ahead and
Yeah. Herman, yeah, that would be bad for Herman to even look at the sand with that wheelie thing and his one knee.
I'd be stuck.
And then on top of it, he'd have to climb down. It's maybe about 30 something stairs straight down to get into the sand, just to get sand all in his boot.
Blaming it all on Paul.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, for those of you who want to enter a film contest, and if you got a drone or not, here's the link again. It's called Life in a Day. Go to this link, read about it. Maybe you know someone who might want to enter.
And like Lawrence just said, if you don't have a drone, it doesn't have to. If you got a camera,
Right,
Or
because
cell
9
phone.
out
You
of
don't have to
10,
have drone footage.
I'm 100% sure that at least 90 to 95% of the people are going to be using cell phones and expensive cameras.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, you don't have to have drone footage.
No, but they do
No.
want 4K at 24 frames per second or 4K at 30 frames per second. They
Okay.
will accept 1080p, but they
prefer
would
4K.
prefer 24 frames at 4K and 30 frames at 4K.
Right, because 24 frames of 4K looks cleaner on the resolution than what they want to do with it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Daryl, 90% of the creators on YouTube are at a beginner level.
What
He
happened?
says, Daryl Hickman, he said, unfortunately, my YouTube creations are on the truly beginner level.
Better
You
than
look at
any-
most of the people on YouTube, and they're beginners, and they're
Well,
doing a
that's-
damn good job.
Right, that's most people on YouTube, and you have some that start
Daryl,
out more equipment than others, or and know how to use that equipment better than others.
Daryl
The only
Hickman.
thing that separates them, when, like I said earlier on the show, that when I was in school, it was all 35 millimeter, and it was one thing that the teacher had said to us as a
Let-
question. You know, what makes you different from the greats? And
Lynn,
what happened?
go ahead.
And it's all about consistency.
Lynn will not let it go. She's on a roll. Bet the ladies would help Paul. but
Yeah,
Daryl Hickman,
I'd probably come up with a whole crew. Yeah.
I wanted to respond to Daryl Hickman. Unfortunately, my YouTube creations are on that truly beginner level. Let me explain something to you. There's always someone better than you, and there's always someone worse
Somebody
than
worse than you.
Well,
and you gotta think like that. Listen, I'm sure they're gonna have amateur work.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna have guys with $3,000 cameras. I'm sure they're gonna have cell phone photo on videos. I know guys that produce entire music videos and videos on their cell phone.
On their iPhone 11.
And so, to Daryl Hickman, you would never know.
Well, that's why I said what I said. It's about the consistency. You just got to keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.
It's true, consistency. And Herman asked me about YouTube a while back. And what did I tell you, Herman? That was the key thing, consistency, right? If you want to do anything on YouTube, you have to be consistent.
Hey, it's that time, guys. It's 7
Yes,
o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Time for a milkshake.
And it's time to get a drop.
I just got my mind clear.
Time
I got to go down and shoot another ship.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah,
Brownie supply must be running low.
Hey, Paul, you know they have those T-shirts on Amazon. I shoot raw.
There you go.
I have the T-shirt that says "I shoot from the hip."
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
Oofta.
I'm speechless. Nothing to say.
I just want to say, Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those guys. An open mic night. Salute, guys.
the
Salute.
Open Mic Night. No. I'd like to thank the guys in the panel for hanging out and discussing this topic tonight. And the 7 reasons why drone delivery service won't work. The number 1 reason Paul's dispel that myth. But yeah,
There's always a place to land.
I'd like to thank you guys in the chat for coming and hanging out with us, because without you, none of this would be possible.
Oh,
And
no.
I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101.
Now back to you, Paul.
Those guys.
Later, guys. We need to have a talk with Paul.